Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and I'm out doing the same thing I've been doing for quite some time, glorifying the truth and enjoying it all the way. You know, I was thinking about speaking to the youth. Uh, some people refer to the youth as the younger generation, and they say some things about the younger generation on both levels. They say that they're progressive, they're smart and energized, and they're not going to be accepting things the way things have been going on. And on the other hand, they say that the young generation is not listening to anyone. They turn their back on God at every end. And both of these things are true to a certain extent. The young generation that's people refer to as turning their back on God, they're just responding to what they have been exposed to. To them, being a Christian doesn't mean anything. You talk about being unchristian and all the ugliness that comes from that, and all around you is ugliness. And you talk about Christianity and all that it's supposed to represent is good stuff, and you look for the good stuff, and it sure does not measure up compared to the ugly stuff, and it seems to be okay. In fact, it seems to be getting worse. And so, why would they look at Christianity? What does Christianity have to offer? The truth of the message is that life is life, and every individual, whether you're on this earth by yourself, are entitled to life. Every last one of you included. You are entitled to life. This earth was made by a power that we cannot see, but this earth is here. And there is no human being made on the face of the earth with bones and structure like you and I have any ultimate authority over anyone else other than themselves. The only true authority that any of us have is the authority that we have over ourselves. And when we allow people to manipulate us and take us off of our path of life, that means we have acquiesced our power. We have loaned our power, we've given our power to another. And in America today, America, whether they would admit it or not, have all given their power to what is going on in America, in America's association with the world today. We are all guilty of that. Now, many of us don't like that. And so we're trying to take back our power, and the systems that they have had set before them in the past that is supposed to protect them from things like this. For some strange reason, in its allowance of ugliness to exist, even when this kind of ugliness didn't, say when slavery exists, that was ugliness within that system that allowed and permitted that to continue. And by doing that, it left itself vulnerable to a day like today. This is the baby of that kind of living. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when I come to you, I don't want to come to you telling you how to fix this. I don't want to come to you telling you trust the Republicans or the Democrats or the Independents. I'm not telling you any of that crap because I believe that every individual on this earth is just like me. You might not be my color. You might not even be a male, but you are just like me in that you want to live and live a satisfied life. I don't think there's a person on the earth that does not want to do that. Whether you're an old person just hanging on, or whether you're a newborn baby just coming into the world, or just a young person that's growing up into adulthood. And it does not mean black or white, African or American, Asian or otherwise. Every individual on earth, I believe you care for that. Why do I believe you care for that? Because I care for that. And if I had the honor of God, if I had to take my trust, let's say nobody on earth but me, and I want that, what I just mentioned, who and how can I get this? There's no one to help me. The only help that I can get is trust and having faith in that power that is responsible, this earth that I'm on, this earth that responds to me as it has up until this point, based upon what I've been able to discern its ability and mind to come together and accomplish. What? So that means that that power that I would turn to, that's the same power that each of you would turn to. We cannot turn to one another except unless we agree. And the only way we can agree, based upon my understanding, is if we are being led by the same spirit, the spirit that is giving us life, the spirit that tells us that the way to achieve and the kind of life that we each of us want is for us to recognize and respect that power and try to please what that power has done in the world. Put it all together, no chaos. And we please that by what? Me wanting for myself and at the same time wanting everything likewise for you, as long as it causes you no pain, as long as it causes you no suffering. Now, what else is better than that? The understanding how you can achieve that. How do you achieve that? By everybody participating in making sure that that happens. By choosing a career, looking out amongst these things that's necessary to be done, and choosing something that you love doing, and engage yourself in the process of doing that. The master plan has already got that set up so that whatever you're doing, when it comes together, it's making sure that your wants, your needs, and your desires are met. You're suffering for nothing. You just like I said it. No food, no clothing, no shelter, no education, no health care, transportation, or anything that's made by the hands of men. Are you being denied? Because it is what? Yours. You are part owners. You made it. You are providing the health care. You are providing the housing. You are providing the food. You are providing those essentials of life to one another. And as you are providing it, you are receiving it. There's no money that can allow you to live the freedom of life. There is no money that can allow you to be able to be free. And so what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to everybody. I'm always talking to everybody, but especially to the young people, especially to the old people, especially to the people who go to church, especially people who are living in a world where some people have and other people don't. And you think that there's nothing that you can do about it. You're throwing up your hand, you're praying, and you don't know what you're praying to. You're asking for what, and you don't know how to ask and to whom ask. All that kind of stuff is in your power, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you get on your knees and pray to God about helping you do this. But I'm going to tell you, God might not be listening to you. God might be pissed off at you. But if God is pissed off at you, you got the power. You got the power within yourself to make the decision. You got the power to make the change. And with the power, my friends, then it allows you to stand up bodaciously, daringly, to represent. And there's no shame in your game when you're doing those things that's honorable. When you are doing those same things that you do for yourself, you're doing it for others. When you're loving others as you love yourself, no shame in your game. You are free. You walk boldly amongst the shadows of death, through the valleys. You don't have to worry about those kinds of things. Why? Because you are life. And so what I'm saying to everybody, it's time for us to change not just this political structure, our system. We see it has failed us. Everything is corrupt. That doesn't mean that everybody in it is corrupt, but there's so much in it that is corrupt. And then through its continuation means that you, the people who may not think that you support it, are actually supporting it by not getting rid of it. Get rid of it if you don't support it. Don't be sitting there waiting till election time. Well, that's what we do to get rid of it. Well, you got to change that because God is not like that. God says once it's identified, that's when you fix it. Once it is identified, that's when you fix it. And what does that mean? That means it's causing pain, it's causing suffering to some, and it has to stop. That's not fair, that's not justice, that's not love. So I want to offer to all the people all over the world, a new earth, a new way of life, a way of not just dreaming of life, but living the life. Your needs, your wants, and your desires met. You're free, happy, fulfilled, satisfied, and you are alive to do what God put you here to do. The things that I just got through talking to you about, those things that we just got to discussing, is the kind of systematized life you're supposed to be going through. It's supposed to be that simple, that enjoyable in living this divine life that we have come into an understanding of while we are in the business of doing whatever else that we don't know today what it is. And we might be doing it right today and not know it. But whatever it is, God will use it and we will know what it is to do what God wants us to do. This is for us. This is the world that we created, the kind of stuff we just got through talking about. That is we, the people who have learned to listen to the spirit of love, are creating this for one another. That's for us. But that's not all we're here for. God got a whole bunch of the stuff for us to do. But we got to get this straight first. All right? Talk to you later.